Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Spending Time with Gregory. And this is Friday Evening Focus. Yeah, and on Friday Evening Focus is one of the nights that we talk about real serious topics. Some of my most serious topics were talked about on Friday Evening Focus. And if you go back and look at my videos on Friday Evening Focus, you'll see where a lot of my topics were real deep, real serious. But tonight, I wanted to bring something to you. It's kind of like in our mental health part, because we do everything. We do juicing, we do fishing, we do mental health, and we do exercise. And tonight I want to kind of like get into the mental health. Now, me bringing these topics to you guys helps me out a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Because it keeps me, you know, grounded. Keeps me grounded, guys. Bringing these topics to you, and hopefully I can encourage you guys to get into these topics, and it can keep you grounded, especially during this time of year, the holiday season. You want to be grounded. Now, what the topic I want to talk about today is like yoga and meditation. Now, those were topics that when I was, going through a lot of things that I was going through, it was brought to my attention. Now, I've never done yoga and meditation. So it was like I needed to do something really bad to like outside the box that can help me, change my life, change my behavior, change the way I do things. And yoga and meditation was outside the box. So those were things that I, got into, which to this day, I focus on yoga and meditation. I do yoga at my job. I go to yoga classes, meditation. I do yoga at my job. I meditate a lot of time. Friday evening focus is meditation. I was talking to a buddy on the phone today, and he was like telling me, Greg, some of your videos are 8 minutes long. Can you cut them down to 4 minutes? So I was like, well, the other 4 minutes, meditate, just meditate, just sit back and, breathe and watch the other 4 minutes after you watch the first 4 minutes. So that was a good suggestion, I think. Now, what's yoga and yoga? Now let me self-reflect a little bit and tell you a little bit about how I got into yoga. Now, I was told that yoga and meditation would help me with my stress, help me with a lot of the things that I, was going through. And meditation, breathing exercises would help me. So they told me about this place on Dania Beach where they did yoga every Sunday morning. And I tried it once. I went. It was called it's Sankofa yoga class, and it was a Sankofa is comes from it's a comes from Ghana. It's a comes from Ghana, and it means go back and get it. Sankofa, go back and get it. So this yoga class was Sankofa yoga class, and they met every Sunday morning on the beach, and we did stretches, we did breathing exercises. Literally changed my life, guys, doing it. You literally changed my life. So, I got heavy into it, heavy into the yoga. And I even got a friend involved. We would ride our bicycles all the way to Dania Beach, you know, early in the morning. I think the yoga started at sunrise, and it was nice out there. You brought your own towel, you laid out, everybody, and we had, the instructor, and we went through a series of stretching exercises. And at the same time, while we're stretching, we go through a breathing exercise. And we usually have a real good instructor who helps you with your breathing and also helps you with your stretching. That's something I had never been into, but like I said, it literally changed my life doing yoga and meditation. Now, yoga helps you, basically yoga helps you focus on your posture and your breathing control. You know, I just went straight to it. I ain't never breathe. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I was doing, I never breathe. I didn't even breathe. Sometimes when I'm talking, I didn't breathe. I just didn't even think about breathing in and breathing out, and thinking about having your thoughts. Thinking about your thoughts and stuff. Especially in meditation, it focuses on the mind, and you achieve a state of calm through meditation. Never heard of meditation. I didn't know what meditation was until I started getting into it. Which I was able to restructure my thinking through meditation, because my thinking was distorted all the time. I thought distorted thinking was normal, which it wasn't. I thought that the things that I was doing or saying to myself was okay because I was a smart person, but they weren't. They were distorted. So through meditation, I was able to restructure my thought process, breathe, meditate, and think about positive things that were going on in my life. Think about positive things that that I needed to do to better myself. And that helped me out very, very, very much. So and also restructuring your thoughts is real important when you're doing meditation, guys. It's real important. And also too, there's if meditation and yoga affects the brain. There's some brain stuff. Now we may not have a whole lot of time to go into those things, but it improves your focus and attention, your stress response regulations, and your brain structure changes. And through neuroplasticity, let me read this. Both yoga and meditation promote neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity. Let me slow down saying that, guys. The brain's ability to recognize itself by forming new neural connections. This adaptability can enhance cognitive functions such as memory and learning. I needed all of that, guys. I needed that because my life was in ruins. So today, you can do that through yoga and meditation. Do something outside the box. And that's why I come on with my listeners to encourage them to do something out of the box. On Friday Evening Focus, this is an important topic. It's more important than, the crack videos and all the other hood videos and all those things. Yoga and meditation. Do something outside the box, guys. Thank you for spending time with Gregory. Guys, you guys have a good Friday evening and be safe.